Ashford and Simpson were an American husband and wife songwriting, production, and recording duo composed of Nickolas Ashford from May 4, 1941 to August 22, 2011, and Valerie Simpson, born August 26, 1946. Ashford and Simpson. Early life. Nick Ashford was born in Fairfield, South Carolina, and Valerie Simpson was born in the Bronx, New York City. Ashford's family later relocated to Ypsilanti, Michigan, where he joined the Christ Temple Baptist Church Choir. He graduated from Willow Run High School in Ypsilanti before pursuing his professional career, where he would ultimately meet his wife, Valerie. Ashford and Simpson met at Harlem's White Rock Baptist Church in 1964. After recording unsuccessfully as a duo, they joined Joshy Joe Armstead, an aspiring solo artist and former member of the Ikettes, at the Scepter One label. There, their compositions were recorded by Ronnie Milsap, Never Had It So Good, Maxine Brown, One Step at a Time, The Shirelles, The Guess Who, and Chuck Jackson. Another of the trio's songs, Let's Go Get Stoned, was a #1 U.S. R&B hit for Ray Charles in 1966. Ashford and Simpson's Motown success. In 1966, Ashford and Simpson joined Motown Records, where they wrote and produced some of the most iconic songs in soul music history, including Ain't No Mountain High Enough, You're All I Need to Get By, Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing, and Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand. They also wrote many other hit songs for other artists, including Chaka Khan's I'm Every Woman and Teddy Pendergrass's Is It Still Good to Ya? Ashford and Simpson's accomplishments. Ashford and Simpson are best known as performers for their duets Solid 1984 and Found a Cure 1979. They were inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2002 and have received numerous other awards, including the Rhythm and Blues Foundation's Pioneer Award, ASCAP Founders Award, and the Grammy Trustee Award. Rolling Stone ranked them number 19 on its list of the 20 greatest duos of all time. In addition to his music career, Nick Ashford also appeared as Reverend Oates in the movie New Jack City. Ashford and Simpson's net worth and assets. According to some sources, Ashford and Simpson had a net worth of $1.1 million. However, this figure may not reflect their true wealth, as they also own several assets, including a sugar bar in New York City, which they opened in 1996 as a restaurant and live music venue, a recording studio in New York City, a mansion in Connecticut, where they lived with their 2 daughters. While their net worth may be difficult to estimate, it is clear that Ashford and Simpson were very successful and wealthy musicians. Personal life. Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson had 2 daughters, Nicole, born in 1975, and Asia, born in 1987. Nicole graduated from Wesleyan University in 1997. About Ashford and Simpson professional career. Ashford and Simpson were successful songwriters, producers, and performers. They wrote hits for many artists, including The Fifth Dimension, Aretha Franklin, and Ray Charles. Their work with Charles caught the attention of Motown founder Berry Gordy, who signed them to the label. Ashford and Simpson wrote and produced all but one of the late 1960s Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell singles, including hits such as Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Valerie Simpson sang most of the vocals on the last album Gaye did with Terrell, Easy, to help Terrell's family financially, as she was battling a brain tumor. However, there is some dispute over whether Terrell recorded any of the vocals on the album. Ashford and Simpson wrote and produced nearly all of the songs on 3 Diana Ross albums in the 1970s, her debut album Diana Ross, Surrender, and The Boss. All 3 albums were critically acclaimed, with Diana Ross and The Boss being certified platinum and Surrender being certified gold. Ashford and Simpson also worked with other Motown artists, including Gladys Knight and the Pips, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Sarita Wright, the Marvelettes, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, the Dynamic Superiors, Blinky Williams, and the Supremes with the Four Tops. They wrote and produced hits for these artists, such as Didn't You Know You'd Have to Cry Sometime for Gladys Knight and the Pips, Who's Gonna Take the Blame for Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, and I Can't Give Back the Love I Feel for You for Sarita Wright. They also produced a hit cover of Phil Spector's River Deep Mountain High for the Supremes with the Four Tops. Ashford and Simpson also wrote hits for other artists, including Teddy Pendergrass, Is It Still Good to Ya?, The Brothers Johnson, Ride a Rocket, Stephanie Mills, Keep Away Girls, Chaka Khan, I'm Every Woman, and Clouds, and Rufus, Keep It Comin', and Ain't Nothing But a Maybe. Ashford and Simpson's early career. Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson began their career as recording artists in the early 1960s as part of the gospel group The Followers, with whom they recorded the album Gospel Meeting. In 1964, they recorded I'll Find You as Valerie and Nick. Ashford also recorded several obscure singles on the Glover, Verve, and ABC labels, including It Ain't Like That, later recorded by Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, California Soul, and Dead End Kids, backed by his version of Let's Go Get Stoned. Valerie Simpson's early solo career. In 1968, Valerie Simpson appeared as part of the Blood, Sweat, and Tears soul chorus on the band's debut album Child is Father to the Man. She then concentrated on working with other artists for a few years. In 1970, she was the featured soloist on the songs Bridge Over Troubled Water and What's Going On the Quincy Jones albums Gula Madari and Smackwater Jack, respectively. Valerie Simpson recorded 2 solo albums for Motown in the early 1970s, Exposed, 1971, and Valerie Simpson, 1972. The single Silly, Wasn't I from the second album was later sampled by 50 Cent on his song Best Friend from the movie Get Rich or Die Tryin'. The song was also sampled by Ninth Wonder on Merce's song Silly Girl from the album Murray's Revenge. Ashford and Simpson appeared on the PBS TV show Soul, hosted by Ellis Hazlip, in 1971 to perform selections from Simpson's solo albums. However, they were frustrated with Motown's poor promotion of Simpson's albums and the company's refusal to release an album of the duo recording a collection of their most famous songs for other artists. They left Motown in 1973. Ashford and Simpson's career after Motown. Ashford and Simpson married in 1974 and resumed their career as a duo. They released their Warner Brothers debut album, Gimme Something Real, in 1973, followed by I Wanna Be Selfish in 1974. In 1975, Simpson sang backing vocals on Paul Simon's #1 hit, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. Ashford and Simpson released Come As You Are in 1976 and 2 albums in 1977, So Satisfied and Send It. Ashford and Simpson had several hit singles in the late 1970s and early 1980s, including Send It, Don't Cost You Nothin', It Seems to Hang On, Is It Still Good to Ya, Found a Cure, and Street Corner. Their biggest hit, Solid, was released in 1984. Ashford and Simpson in the late 1970s and 1980s. In 1978, Ashford and Simpson and Chaka Khan featured on the hit single Stuff Like That from Quincy Jones' album Sounds. And Stuff Like That. They also contributed to the soundtrack of the film The Wiz. In 1986, they appeared as themselves in an episode of the popular television series The Equalizer. Ashford and Simpson's other work. In addition to his work with Ashford and Simpson, Nick Ashford also produced the hit song, I'm Gonna Make You Love Me with Frank Wilson, which was recorded by Diana Ross and the Supremes and the Temptations in 1968. He also appeared in the 1991 film New Jack City as Reverend Oates, an ordained minister who was part of Nino Brown's entourage. Valerie Simpson's brothers were also involved in the music industry. Her brother Ray Simpson replaced Victor Willis in The Village People, and her other brother Jimmy Simpson produced the group GQ, which had big hits with Disco Nights, Rock Freak, and I Do Love You. Jimmy was also in great demand as a mixing engineer during the disco era. Nick Ashford, one half of the songwriting and performing duo Ashford and Simpson, died at the age of 70 on August 22, 2011, in a New York City hospital. He died of complications from throat cancer, just 4 days before his wife, Valerie Simpson's, 65th birthday. Ashford's publicist, Liz Rosenberg, said that he had undergone radiation therapy in an attempt to treat his illness. Ashford and Simpson's later years. In their later years, Ashford and Simpson recorded and toured less frequently. In 1996, they opened Sugar Bar, a restaurant and live entertainment venue in New York City. The venue had an open mic night on Thursdays, and performers included Queen Latifah, Vicky Natale, and Felicia Collins. In 1996, Ashford and Simpson also recorded the album Been Found with poet Maya Angelou. Around that time, they were also featured as disc jockeys on New York radio station WRKS. Ashford and Simpson's late career accomplishments. In 2006, Ashford and Simpson began writing the score for a musical based on E. Lynn Harris's novel Invisible Life. In 2007, they joined Tina Turner, Mary J. Blige, Mariah Carey, Sidney Poitier, director Spike Lee, and comedian Chris Rock in accompanying Oprah Winfrey to the opening of her Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa. At President Barack Obama's 2009 inauguration, Ashford and Simpson rewrote their song Solid as Barack and dedicated it to him at the inaugural festivities. Valerie Simpson's solo career continues. In June 2012, Valerie Simpson released a new solo album, Dinosaurs Are Coming Back Again. The album featured the last recorded performance of Nina Simone, a second duet with Roberta Flack, and an instrumental version of Ain't No Mountain High Enough. In 2014, Simpson made a guest appearance on the title track of Kindred the Family Soul's album A Couple Friends. In May 2014, Simpson was awarded an honorary doctorate of music from Berklee College of Music. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and click on the bell notification.